Ladies and gentlemen, the next session is something that focuses on the young. Beneath the weight of expectations, the effect of pressure on today's youth, for which I would like to invite S.GANESA Subramanian, the founder and director of Ganesh's IAS Academy, with extensive experience in teaching Indian Constitution, public administration, and ethics. Shri Subramanian has been a trusted mentor to countless civil services and aspirants and has delivered numerous invited talks and lectures on various aspects of competitive exam preparation. His dedication to empowering individuals from all walks of life to pursue careers in public service has earned him accolades. Shri Subramanian, over to you, sir.
Good afternoon to all, and thank you very much for the kind introduction as well as giving me the dais to speak. And thank you, Rochna. It is also a little frightening. Should I have my lunch or not? You know, it was wonderful and was very informative. Many times I'm a foodie guy. I love food. And wherever I travel, my friends call me as Ganesh positioning system for food. Wherever I travel, I know places where we get superb food. Now I really wonder, should I have to wipe off all the map? Anyway, coming to the topic, what I have to talk about. I should thank both Lalita Madam and Rochna for preparing the stage for me, basically. There are certain points what I wanted to convey, Lalita Ma'am has already conveyed to you. Now let us, so the topic what I am supposed to discuss is about the pressure on the youth and how the youth can be kindful and how they can be kind to themselves. Dealing with the youth for about a quarter century, for about 25 years of this experience, I see this unkindness of the youth or the pressures what the youth have for themselves is of three different types. Basically, one comes from the society. There are certain pressures which the traditional societies make on the youth as well as every individual who belongs to that society. Second comes from the family. Right? That's why I told you, the socio-cultural aspect of every society matters a lot, not only for food, but as well as the way you think, the way you set your goals, the way you perceive your goals to be, what your goals to be, and what you to be as well. Secondly, that family stuff. The families also have a very important role to play. And the third is the individual himself or herself. What is their perception about what the society expects of you, what your family expects of you, and that actually what happens is, at one point in time, our youth do not know what they expect of themselves. That is the most important problem of the youth being unkindful to themselves. See, basically what happens in any society is that, and now I would like to confine myself to the Indian society, because let us more talk about the Indian youth, because my experience is more to deal with the Indian youth. See, the value systems in India is like, see, when we study certain problems like corruption in the system, there is some psychological reasons and social psychological reasons for corruption as well. In Indian society, one of the main problems of Indian society is that every Indian has to earn for 3 generations. I, as a male, has to earn for not only to keep myself up, I have certain responsibilities that are inherited, that are bestowed on me by my family. If I have sisters, girl siblings, then I'm supposed to take care. There are several, rituals that are associated with your life. If I have a sister, I'm responsible for getting her married, after her marriage, I have certain responsibilities as a maternal uncle towards her children, which means I have to carry forward the responsibilities of my family, my father, my parents. Then I get married, I have to take care of my life, I have to earn for my spouse, I have to earn for my children who come through me, and then I have to keep myself up for my retirement as well. So this is one important thing, and for the future generation, that my grandchildren, my children. How do you think within one span of life of about 30 years of work life in career, one can earn for 3 generations? Just imagine. Obviously, we tend to spread the wings, convert whatever you have into money. This is one major problem of Indian society. Now, so this is about corruption. Put that corruption problem aside. Now coming to our topic, how it brings pressure. See, in the Indian society, the problem of the stratification of the Indian society actually brings the pressure on the youth, because the youths coming up, see what my son is doing, where my son is studying, in which college he is studying, actually is becoming a status symbol of mine. Secondly, we parents try to see the development of the family through the career achievements of the child. And that too in a stratified society like India, where the discrimination is an order. Discrimination is a given thing. So to get out of the discrimination, to get out of that social stigma, the taboos, the families feel you have to keep your children educated. See, there are several things which are very fundamental to human society in a civilization have been deprived to many of the sections of the society. This deprivation has actually made them to think that I have to get out of the clutches of the deprivation only through my children's education. Not just me, not just my spouse, but my children. This socio-psychological thinking actually puts enormous pressure on the kid. Now this begins from the school. Right? This begins from the school. This is a very normal thing. See, individual identities are associated with the society, basically. Every traditional society puts certain demands on the individual. I being part of the society means I am supposed to satisfy certain demands. I have to cater to the demands of the society, which I cannot escape. That itself is a pressure on me, but over and above that, the structural injustices of the society also makes my family feel that it is because of my coming up, it's because of my development that the family also can develop, which is actually a very important pressure upon our children. Not only the youth, but also it begins in the school. Most of us would have watched the movie 3 Idiots, where the principal virus comes. The moment, even before the grandson is born, he will be designated as an engineer. This is the order of the day of the Indian families. That's a problem to the youth, not to the family again. Secondly, the pressure comes from the society, I said, the family, I said. Secondly, most of our social psychological aspects are centered around the youth well-being, or whatever we call as. It's all given a lip service. See, we had a discussion quite some time back. One of my friends who is part of Rotary Club, he was asking me, as part of Rotary we have a program called RILA, the Rotary Youth Leadership Training Programs. We want it to be done for school children. I asked him, what is that? So he wanted me to be a resource person. I said, I'm glad. I'm delighted. I'm glad I'll come. But tell me, which is the class? He said 6th, 7th and 8th. Moment he said 6th, 7th, 8th, without even thinking a moment, thinking a fraction of a second, I said no. No. He was astonished. Why you say no? I told him, see, simple. Indian societies, Indian families thinking is like this. When the child is born, every mom, every dad, they will be very happy, glad, seeing the child talking too many things, exploring, asking questions. Slowly, the child goes to the school. As Rabindranath Tagore said, learning is natural, but education is artificial. You start pushing your thoughts into the child's mind. You drive, you give a direction, you put the boundaries, what to think, what not to think. Right? So you have to, Margaret Mead, one of the psychologists, she said, teach your children to think, not what to think. But unfortunately, Indian families put in your mind what you should think. What is your father? You think you must have a perception only like this. And most of the cases in the middle class families, fathers are the gundas of the mothers. When the child is naughty, the mother will say, let the father come. He will come. What he will do? What he will do? What he can do? Nothing he can do. That is a basic understanding. But the fathers know that. But still, because of the love and affection that they have for the spouse, they have to, see, look at me. That is the reason why I also have a moustache. What? That's very unfortunate. Many a times it happens. And so this is a way you make children to perceive in a particular way about career, about studies. See, every mother, have you ever poked your, eavesdrop into the mothers in the schools when they come to drop their children? It's quite interesting. If you really have a chance to do that, every mother will say proudly, my son, is doing so great in science, but I don't know, unfortunately he doesn't have problem. He's having problem with the language. Then the other mother will say, don't worry, there is another tuition center. This is the problem. The pressure builds upon the youth because of that. See, today, especially after the COVID, we go to the colleges and do programs for creating awareness about career development, particularly in government and all. Post-COVID, I'm seeing one important thing among the kids. They are fearing. As a result of fearing, they avoid setting goals. And even if they set goals, they try to set goals which are easily achievable. They don't set goals which are, challenging. They don't want to take up challenges. Because they fear. Why do they fear in Indian system? Why do they fear? Is because the parents insist on results. The parents do not want their children to experience failing. For example, if somebody is preparing for civil services exams, you are given 6 attempts. So in first attempt you don't make it, second attempt you don't make it, third attempt you don't make it. What is wrong in it? What is wrong in it? I know several of my students getting into service in their last attempt. One of my friends who happens to be the ambassador to Nigeria today, is now sitting ambassador to Nigeria. He did not clear his prelims 5 times. 5 times he didn't clear. Just imagine. When we go to his place, he belongs to Chennai. When we go to his place, his father will scold us. First of all, get rid of these guys, you will come up in life. This is the first thing. That's how the parents, So my child is always good. But he is getting spoiled only because of his friends. That's a standard, dialogue of the Indian families, unfortunately. What is wrong if the child fails? What is wrong even if he did not get into service at all? All the 7 attempts, 10 attempts, he didn't clear, he didn't make it to. Nothing wrong. One of the wonderful speeches that Steve Jobs gave in the Stanford graduation day. He said, my parents were not graduates, so my parents wanted me to be a graduate. So he was an adopted son. He was given for adoption. I hope you all know. They want me to graduate, but when I went to the college, I understood that I have nothing to learn here. So I dropped out. And then he said, that was the best decision of my life.
Biocollagen face mask.
And later he said, after having dropped out of the college, I went to calligraphy class. That he says, connect the dots. Connect the dots. When we designed certain things for iOS and Apple, it was not the college engineering class that helped me. It was a calligraphy class that helped me. So he says, connect the dots. So that is what I am trying to tell. Let the children learn. Let them experience. Failure is also an experience. If satiating your hunger is an experience, food, hunger is also an experience. Same way, experience everything. Allow the child to experience. The main issue of the society is that we don't allow the children to experience and we don't allow them to live their life, and we try to live our life through them, which is a very bad thing. That's actually making, bringing very high pressure in the children. And it is because of this reason, especially after COVID, I'm finding the youth today are not setting goals. They fear to set goals. See, we are in danger. While the country's population, if you look at the statistics of the census, 64% of Indian population is less than 35. India is very young. We have a very bright future. But just imagine, you are having a youth power who do not, or rather, who fear to set goals, who fear to accept challenges, who fear to, take up goals that are little higher for themselves. And this fear is not from within, but this fear is more created. This fear is more conditioned because of the familial questions. They are not able to answer. They don't know how to face. They don't know how to face because we parents have a lot of reasons to, we have quite a lot of reasons to justify why we pressurize them. And this is one important thing after COVID I'm finding. Very potential people, very potential youngsters, they go and settle down for simpler jobs. Who could have been a scientist, who could have been a social entrepreneur, who could have been an entrepreneur successfully. Unfortunately, they refuse to, and they take a back seat to set their higher goals. And this is more because of the familial pressures. Then the third thing what actually builds pressure in the youth is themselves. See, there are certain nasty terms we have: dream job, dream salary. See, you have dreams, you can have dreams. Right? There are two important people, right, who talk about dreams. When we say the dream, immediately who strikes our mind is Martin Luther. I have a dream. And APJ Abdul Kalam. Dream is something that is not something that you see when you are asleep, but that does not allow you to sleep. That dream is different from this dream job. So what is this dream job? I don't really understand. And you don't need to have a dream job at all. All that you need is a job that is interesting to you, that fits your psychology, that fits your physiology. Then you don't have to have a dream job. And many a time, I've done that with many, when I meet to college students, when we ask about the dream jobs, they'll say that most of the times it is IT. Because still we believe that information technology jobs will pay you in dollars. You go to US and the conversion rate is this much, right? All like, this share companies, they sell you. The insurance companies will sell you. If you invest in this insurance this day, per month 100 rupees, when you are 70 years, you will be getting 10 crores. Okay, when I am 70, I get 10 crores. What will you do with that 10 crores? I don't have mind to enjoy, I don't have body to enjoy, and I don't have time to enjoy. What will I do? And do they really give? 20 years back, the insurance what was sold to me when I started my career did not pay me, the company was closed. Right? The company was closed. I called the agent, now he said that, sir, that company is last stupid company, even I was working for that, but now I work for HDFC. This is a stable company, invest in that. For him, closing a sale. For us, becoming a fool. Right? Somebody to close a sale, I cannot become a fool. That is a natural thing that's happening here. Anyway, forget about it. When we talk about this dream job to children, they have a ridiculous idea. The dream job is not their dream. They need a job, but their fathers have a dream. Dream job. Father's dream, son's job. How can it be? It cannot be. And so he thinks that I have to be here. And second aspect, what drives his dream job is his peer pressure. My friend's sister is in US. My friend's elder brother is in US. They were this kind of family. Now they have built a bungalow. Now he drives a BMW. Why should you drive a BMW if somebody else is driving a BMW? What is the need for that? This is a problem to themselves. The peer pressure as well as this kind of wrong notions. See, this dream job and all those stuff begins from the childhood, like how? See, in the real life, each one of us is a virus in our own family, fixing the career options of the children, even when they are in the womb of their mom. And that is the main issue of the pressure. So basically, I like to conclude with the starting point of three things. The pressure of the youth is more because of the socio-cultural, structural injustices. Certain things happen in the society like India, which is a stratified one. Second is because of the familial pressures. And the third is the pressure that the youth have upon themselves with a lack of or a skewed understanding of their life and career. So as we all are gathered here to talk about kindness, let us try to be kind to the youth so that they will be kindful to themselves. Thank you very much for your patience to listening to me, and thank you for the opportunity. Thank you very much.